things moving very quickly on the ground in South America, and I am not sure how long they're going to allow any dissenting voices to speak in the United States, especially once the bullets start flying. So I'm going to do this live and hope it stays up long enough for people to hear it. They are rewriting history as we speak. Now, random guy named Juan has made the statement that elections did not occur at all in Venezuela in 2018. His quote, "I am the only legitimate president of Venezuela," the 35-year-old said. "There was no election in 2018. Maduro's term in office is over, so he is unlawfully in office and is governing as a dictator." Boy, somebody better tell the millions and millions and millions and millions of people in Venezuela who voted for that election, one way or the other, that that's the case. Now, one mistake the US is making right now is they're trying to use numbers. And they like to roll these things out. 40 people killed, some 850 detained in Venezuela amid ongoing anti-government protests. Really? Would anyone out there like to see what the numbers are in the United States on days where there aren't protests of how many people are killed by the US authorities and how many are detained? And if they want to go even farther about numbers, how about we do this? How about we add up the populations of all of the countries in the world that recognize Nicolas Maduro as the leader of Venezuela, and then we add up the populations of everyone else. And we see what that number comes to. Have a little informal election there. We'll add up Russia, China, India, Pakistan, the Philippines, Iran, Turkey, most of North Africa, Mexico. I think you see my point. That the vast majority of Asia, and I'm sure if we look down here, probably Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, we could add all these in. And it's funny that places like Italy and Spain say that they don't technically, quote unquote, recognize Nicolas Maduro as the leader of Venezuela, even though Spain is sending him tanks and Italy is cut a deal to buy coltan from them. Greece as well is in deals with them. But yeah, those numbers are interesting. In fact, this is a chart I brought up in 2017. There were 10.5 million people in the United States that were arrested and detained. Now, you can do that math. I've done it here. Divide that by 365 days a year. 28,917 people are arrested every single day in the United States. Now, I know what you're thinking. The United States is 10 times bigger than Venezuela. Okay, divide that number by 10. That comes out to 2,891 people proportionally, compared to the 850 in Venezuela. And that was during protests, during riots. And as far as 40 people killed, I'll let you guys look that up. Number two, how many people are killed in the United States every year, just with guns alone. Let's see if I can find that here. Oh yeah, here it is. 59 fatal police shootings in the first 24 days of 2015. And that's just a spitball number. Now, once again, I know Venezuela is smaller, but the point being is the U.S. is now full-blown criminal mode, not even trying to hide it. They're making believe that elections that occurred didn't occur. They're randomly picking people out of the crowd and saying, okay, you're president, and we're going to transfer all of this country's money to you. That's the real criminal part of this, that a lot of people aren't getting. And it's all, and they're using Fox in the mode that they've always used Fox, to tell lies. Because they are attempting to look into this legally in Venezuela. If they wanted the man dead, he'd be dead. Mike Pompeo, earlier Tuesday, certified that Guaido had authority to take control of bank accounts that Venezuela's government has in the Federal Reserve Bank of New York or any other U.S. insured bank. Isn't that interesting? This is how fast things are moving. They have now just handed over the keys to the kingdom as if they were ours to hand over. They are pronouncing that elections that occurred they didn't like just didn't occur. And they are now threatening to put U.S. troops, and they're not kidding now. This isn't a debate anymore. To put more troops in Colombia with the intent of marching them across the border to enforce this. I don't know how much more ignorant this government can get about 2 million militia under arms, not including the military. But there's going to be a problem, and there's going to be all sorts of other players involved in this. The Brazilians chief among them. Don't think for 1 minute that Bolsonaro is going to wait for U.S. permission to do anything. And the U.S. might be able to thwart the Venezuelan military eventually, but if the Brazilians decide they want to take advantage of the situation and roll in there for their own national security reasons and throw out both the Venezuelans and the United States, that would be the end of South America as a multicultural nation. Well, multicultural continent, I should say. The Brazilians will run the table. And they'll take everything from Peru all the way down Chile through Argentina, and they'll control the entire continent. And the U.S. won't do anything about it. Because they have that Brazil, Russia, India, China thing going on. And I know a lot of people think that Russia and China are going to back Venezuela up. They will to an extent. But they'd sure as heck rather have Brazil. Because they know that the U.S. would be powerless at that point to deal with that block of countries. And if they get a hold of all that gold and all that oil and all that resource, you'll see Brazil as a new superpower in this hemisphere. You mark my words, that's coming. But it's going to be very soon. I would say the next 2 weeks now, because they've given this 8-day ultimatum 4 days ago. But they're not even waiting, because they know there's not going to be any new elections. And they're just waiting for the opportunity. I think this government, this current one, has been waiting for the opportunity to start shooting and killing people. Because, of course, they want the jingoistic flag wrapped around them, and so they can pretend that it's 1990 again in the Gulf, or it's 2001 again after 9/11, so that they can have unanimity amongst the American people while they go in and slaughter another country. That's what this government is waiting for. So I just want to say it. I just want to have put it out there. They are rewriting history. They are now saying that the 2018 elections in Venezuela did not occur. This random psychopath named Juan is making those pronouncements. He's going to be on apparently Trish Regan. I don't even know who that is. And they are trying to use numbers to make you freak out, saying 40 people killed, 850 detained, when 5 times that many are detained every single day in the United States under normal circumstances. And even if you do the proportional numbers, it's about 3 times as many. 40 people killed, that's a normal day in the United States. That's a normal, everyday thing in the United States. Heck, I think we've had single weekends in Chicago where more people were killed. So, and that's not during riots, not during people coming in and saying, oh, that your government's not your government anymore. We've decided what your government is now. Complete and total bizarre world insanity, unlike I've seen in my lifetime. I mean, this is going to make, and I'm going to say it right now, this is going to make Iraq look like house arrest. If you think we lost a lot of people to IEDs and lost a lot of people to terrorists down there, The minute one boot crosses that border in Venezuela, North America is in for a huge, huge wake-up call. If you think we've had invasions before, Mexico's not on our side in this. They're going to unite down there like nobody's business, and the U.S. is going to be, the U.S. meaning D.C., is going to be completely confused. They're going to thought they had Argentina on their side. They're going to thought they had Chile and Brazil on their side. And the people of those countries are going to light that continent on fire. If I were the US right now, I would be ordering every American out of every South American country, not just Venezuela. This is going to get really bad really quick. And I'm saying it again, 2 years ago, I started warning about this because of the Panama Canal. Shooting war starts down there. What do you think is going to happen to the cost of the insurance of shipping? It's going to send our stock market through the floor, and it's going to send the cost of everything coming through that canal to the United States through the roof. And I think that's a calculation the U.S. hasn't quite come to grips with yet. So I just wanted to get that warning out there. It's happening. It's happening quickly. It's happening in a way that is, frankly, frightening. So 11 minutes. We will leave it there. You guys have a great night.